Much. Our speaker is on board. Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the day two of TCPP Mentorship Workshop, the Compassionate Foundation, where we explore the power of mentorship. We get insight from pharmacist Taiwo Olaweyemi, the co-founder of Summer Incubation Hub, and we learned so much about mentorship and how it can shape our career. And tonight is day two, and we'll be getting to know about how to get started with mentorship. And trust me, we have nothing short of a very nice session with our distinguished guest speaker for tonight. So I'll be having an amazing session lineup. And we're honored to have Dr. Ayodapo Jegede, the respected figure in pharmacy education and mentorship, and is going to be guiding us on getting started with mentorship. He's going to walk us through how mentorship can actually shape us into professional development, and also he's going to help us and put us through on how to get the right mentor, and also how to make most of mentoring relationship. I'm very sure he's on board. I'll be reading his citation now. Dr. Ayodapo Jegede Uluwadari is a lecturer at the prestigious Faculty of Pharmacy, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. He's well known among senior colleagues, and students are a lover of his knowledge and impact. He has his master's and PhD in pharmacy administration. He's a doctor of pharmacy. He has his doctor of pharmacy degree and graduated from the University of Benin, and also a fellow of West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, WEPS. He has served in various leadership positions from an early age and has maintained a keen sense of excellence in service while in those positions. He has served as the president of the Young Readers Club while in secondary school, president of Drug Free Club, publication officer for the National Fellowship of Christian Pharmacy Students, a student representative of the Pharmacy Student Association, and is also the senior pastor at Kingswood Campus Church, to mention a few. He's an excellent speaker. He loves to read, speak, travel, sing, and engage in critical thinking. He's an educator, as a foundation for a drug-free world, and currently the resident and senior pastor of Kingswood International Church in Ile-Ife. He's happily married to his wife, Joanne Jegede, and together they oversee the affair of the church pastors. Join me as I welcome our distinguished speaker for tonight, Dr. Ayodapo Jegede. The virtual floor is yours, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Sir Christopher, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I want to appreciate you for the opportunity to be here this evening. And I believe there's so much we have learned and so much we will learn. And the whole essence of all that we're learning here is for us to make a difference in our world, so that when it gets to our turn to do these things and mentor others, then perhaps we'll be able to do it better. So thank you for the introduction. As been said, my name is Ayodapo Jegede, and I am a lecturer in the Department of Clinical Pharmacy and Pharmacy Administration, Faculty of Pharmacy, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Maybe let me just hear one or two persons' voices before I continue. Just say hello, say something.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. I'm trying to see.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Okay, Oyeniro. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Olamide Alumutu. Good evening. Okay.
Good evening,
Perhaps
sir.
I should just, yeah, good evening. Good evening. Thank you, Femi. So I heard that yesterday you had like a foundational class on mentorship. And I'm sure by now you know how critical mentorship is for your growth, for progress. I know perhaps a lot of people in this generation feel like they know things, and we're living at a time where information is actually at our fingertips. You need to know something, you go online, you check Google, or you go to one of the AI bots that you have assisting you, and you get information you want real time. You want it as you want it. And sometimes you might feel like as though you do not necessarily need a mentor because you have all the information you need, but that's not true. That's not true. And it's good that you discover this early and then get on the way to getting a mentor. The person that spoke yesterday, taught us about the importance of mentorship. And I'm sure she must have given you examples and maybe our own personal testimony, how mentorship has actually helped her to make progress in her own profession. And for mentorship, you need to have a mentor that can help you. Perhaps the person has gone through what you intend to go through. The person is a picture, of what your future looks like. And so you're trying to say, okay, how do you navigate your own journey? How did you get to the point where you are? And I can tell you the joy of every mentor is that you not only get to be who they have become or get to where they are, but you even go beyond. You become your own self. You achieve the things that are on your own path to be a fulfilled professional. Okay, so I'm going to start my presentation, getting started with mentorship. Okay, so mentorship is a professional relationship where an experienced individual, the mentor, guides a less experienced individual, the mentee, in their personal and professional growth. I'm going to be sharing my own story here. I'm sure, I hope it's going to help somebody. I remember several years ago when I started out in pharmacy school, and I had all of these options before me of what I can do as a pharmacist. And it took me a while, to really decide on what I wanted to be, where I wanted to function. And I know from like 200 or 300 level, I had an idea that I wanted to be in academia. And so as we continued in pharmacy school, that just became stronger. And I made up my mind that, okay, I'm going to settle, for academia. And when I got to my final year, I needed to do my project. So I looked around who has impacted me the most in class. I looked at all my lecturers, and with that, I was able to pick somebody to be my supervisor. And coincidentally, he eventually became my mentor. And I can tell you a lot has happened since the first day I spoke to him about being my project supervisor to this point, where I am. He's still very much involved in my life. I still spoke with him this evening. So mentorship is a professional relationship. It should be professional. In some instances, it might be an informal relationship, but you need to be very, very careful, because sometimes when you commonize the relationship you have with your mentor, you might not get as much as you should, get from the person. So the mentor guides a less experienced individual in their personal and professional growth. So how do we understand mentorship in pharmacy? There's been reports and studies have shown that there's a dearth of mentorship in pharmacy practice. And if you have heard some of the people that have gone out, have graduated as pharmacists, and I'm sure we have some of them here, except the very fortunate ones, realize that there's really nobody there to help you. You might just have to find your way. People complain that the elder ones are not really there for them. Everybody's facing their own life and facing their own profession. So it tells me that if I have an opportunity to get a mentor, I should be very intentional about it. There are people that have had the opportunity of getting mentors, but they just messed up the opportunity. Some didn't know the value of what they had until they lost it. And that's why it's good this so that you can seize the opportunities when they present themselves. So mentorship in pharmacy is essential for professional development, skill enhancement, and career guidance. It allows mentees to gain insight from seasoned professionals and helps mentors refine their leadership and communication skills. So you can see that mentorship is a two-way street. Just as the mentee is being helped, the mentor is also getting better. Thinking that what you're going to learn is just how to be a mentee. I think where you are right now, there are people that can also learn from you. There are people that can, and that's why I see the best way to actually learn mentorship is, being mentored, but also mentoring other people. So in the little you're able to pass it to other people and help them with the knowledge you have. You're able to also to make them attain and become, successful in their own profession or their own path. So you're able to gain insights from the professional. And one thing you must know about this is it takes someone it takes somebody very inquisitive, somebody ready to ask the questions that can make the most out of mentorship. Because sometimes you're your mentor and then he knows all of these things, but except you ask a question that will pull out, some of the wisdom that he has, then you might not get access to that wisdom. And that's why you maximize the times you have with your mentor. So mentorship is a two-way street. And it's also very, very important in pharmacy. Why is it important? It provides career guidance and professional support. Like I said, I have a mentor in my life. And right now I have more than one mentor for different aspects of my life. But when I talk about my mentor for this presentation, I'm referring to my career mentor. Of course, he does more than that, but he has helped me. I remember going to meet him when I finished pharmacy that I would like to come to academia. And the advice he gave me, that, okay, that the program is about to start off very soon, but wait a little bit, go and do other things. In about a year, return and then, apply for your master's, which I did. And like they say, the rest is history. And I can tell you the progress I've made, I've not experienced delays like, it's typical. It's because I have somebody that's guided me over the years. So they offer professional support and also guidance. Also enhances confidence and decision making in professional practice. See, your life is where you are today in life is as a result of all the decisions you have made. And where you're going to go beyond today would also be as a result of decisions you will make. It's better you make the right decisions. But sometimes, I'm sure some of you can remember some of the decisions you have made and you regret them now because you've seen the outcome. But when you're making those decisions, you didn't know how they're going to turn out. You just believe that something good might come out from that. But if you have someone that has gone through that part, they have seen a couple of things and they can help you guide. This is not the best way to do this. I tried it some time ago and it didn't work that way. Why don't you do it this way? It's better to learn from other people's mistakes rather than making your own mistakes. It's a faster route to get promoted when you are learning from the mistakes others have made, not yours. So it's going to help you make right decisions, and it's going to like compress time for you. What your mentors must have done in 10 years, you could achieve in 2 years. It also facilitates networking and collaboration in pharmacy profession. I can tell you, networking, because of my mentor, I know how many people I've met. I can tell you a lot of connections that I have today came through my mentor. And I just like his wisdom, how he's able to, very, very, swift when it comes to giving direction on certain things. And the way he gives me direction is not like instructing me that this is what I'm going to do, but it just makes it open. It makes all the options open. And with his guidance, I'm able to know which will work for me the most. Then also helps mentees navigate challenges in pharmacy education and practice. Some of you are students, there are challenges. Sometimes I just wished I had this kind of relationship with him before I got to my final year. I wished I had somebody I could, really speak to and talk to and get, counsel from. I just wish I did. But some of you have the opportunity now. There are people around you that can help you. Don't close your mouth. If you need to, walk up to them and ask for their help, please do so. I'm going to share with you how you can, have a mentor, the steps to take in having a mentor. And then for those of you in practice, we also have someone that can help you in practice. I've told you about my own experience. Of course, the mentor is not the one that will do things for you. I know people that my mentor is also leading or mentoring that are not getting as much results because, like I say, mentorship, like I said earlier, mentorship is a two-way street. In as much as your mentor is there with, it's like a reservoir of wisdom and experience, you have a part to play. It takes two to tango. So if you don't play your part, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, eventually, you would not get the results you're supposed to get. Then encourage continuous professional development and knowledge sharing. That can happen with your mentor. So how to get started with mentorship? First, identify your mentorship needs. And this is critical. Just don't walk up to people and say, well, I want to be a mentor. For what? What are your mentorship needs? we're living at a time where there's so much available around us. Knowledge is, everywhere. And you need to know the area you want to develop. Okay, this person I want to be my mentor, is he going to be, for my career? Is he going to be my academic mentor? Is he going to be a spiritual mentor? Is he going to be a mentor for, business? I need to learn about business or a particular skill that the person has, acquired. So maybe you have a mentor for your finances to make money, and you know someone that is already making a lot of money, and you feel like, wow, this guy is someone that I can learn from. So you need to identify what the need is, because without the need, you might not find the right mentor. So identify your mentorship needs, then find a mentor. So this applies to a lot of us. And I told you also find a mentee, because the best way to actually learn mentorship is not just being mentored, but learning to mentor other people. So you can make sure that the things you're learning, you have somebody else you're pouring some of those things into to help you cement those things. And I can tell you, I have people in my life right now that I'm teaching, they're learning from me. And I have people that I'm learning from. It's the day you stop learning, I think you should just leave the earth. But as long as you're going to be here, you would always have the opportunity to learn, and you should maximize that opportunity. Then building a productive mentorship relationship. There are a lot of mentorship relationships that exist, and not all of them are productive. So you have people that have mentors, but they don't engage their mentors. We did a study some years ago, and the study was around the staff advisory systems in pharmacy schools. And we realized that, yeah, in most schools, students are assigned staff advisors, but very few people consider their staff advisors as mentors. Many of them don't even have a relationship with their staff advisors. The only existing relationship they have is to sign their course forms and do other, formal things that are required. But the opportunity that's supposed to present to you is for you to actually have a mentor. And we have a couple of people that maximize that relationship, and they add a mentor in the staff advisors. Of course, not all the staff advisors might also want to mentor others. And I remember one of the conclusions we gave, one of the recommendations we gave for the study was perhaps people that are going to be made staff advisors should be interested in advising or to be interested in mentoring the students, because some of them are not available, some of them are not interested, and that's the truth. But you must make that relationship productive. And sometimes someone that you think might not even want to look at you or help you might be interested just by you doing the right things. Sometimes you have to initiate that relationship. So you go see your staff advisor, your mentor, or the person you want to mentor. You can take a gift to the person. The gift of the man really makes a room for him. You take a gift to the person, you check up the person to say, hello, I would like to see you, sir. I would like to see you, ma. Introduce yourself to the person. The person might not even have your time at that time, and at that moment you went, and you might feel discouraged that maybe not this person, but just go again. If you're convinced within yourself that this is the person that actually has the, requisite knowledge for where I want to be, or this is the person that looks closest to the kind of person that I want to be in my future. So you just have to stay there until the person responds. But then you have a part to play, and that's what this point is talking about, that if you have a mentor, then it has to be productive. You can't just be silent and not say anything, and then nothing will be said. No advice will be given. Like I said, you must learn to ask questions. That's number one. Number two, learn to ask the right questions. Learn to ask the right questions. So sometimes when you're going to see your mentor, you'd have prepared like 5 questions I want to ask when I see this person. Not you just go there and gist and then forget, why you are there. You write a couple of things. I want to learn about this, get advice on this, get advice on that. And the way this mentorship thing works is that the advice you get from your mentor might not be something novel or something new that you have not heard before. But when they say it just helps. I've seen it happen so many times. It just clicks in your head. Wow, how come I didn't think about this? Or how come I didn't decide to do this? It just becomes very clear. Why? Because there's something about respect and honor that you have for that person that makes the person's word carry a lot of weight, when it's being spoken. And it's like it's a booster. Or like when you just hear it somewhere. When your mentor says it, it's like it carries a certain power that makes doing it a lot easier. So I've talked about this, but let me just say a couple of other things on this. So before seeking a mentor or mentee, you clarify your goals. Do you need guidance in clinical practice, pharmaceutical research, academia, or you want to improve your business, or the business, your knowledge in the business aspects of pharmacy? So you must clearly define what your needs are so that you can find the right mentor to match. Then, for instance, within the educational institutions, people that can become your mentor would include, professors, supervisors, staff advisors, senior colleagues. Yeah, they can be your mentor. One of the things we also checked in that study was peer mentoring. And we realized that some people consider the people maybe in the higher class as their mentor. Some people even in the same class, someone that knows more than you academically, this person is sound. I'm learning from this person. Because when it comes to mentoring, it's not, you must understand that it's not by age. A younger person can mentor you. And a lot of people have not grown. They have not made progress with their lives because they are too proud. A proud person, no, this. If you know someone that is younger and knows that stuff very well, you better go meet the person because you are going to learn a lot. You will not always be small like that. You will not always be, at that level that you need the person. But what the person has to give, you must be willing to get it. And that will just mean humbling yourselves, going to meet the person. Please, I know you know this thing. Look, can you just teach me? And as much as possible, as long as that relationship exists, you're not trying to make the person that, I'm your senior. So the person can't even tell you what he really wants to tell you. The person cannot really scold you, the way that you need to be scolded. Because when you have a mentor, you have given the mentor permission, to correct you, permission to scold you if needed, permission to talk to you straight, not to mince words when discussing with you. Also, you can also find your mentors within professional associations, like the PSN, PCN, and PSN. Yeah, PCN is the regulatory body for pharmacy, and sometimes you might find somebody there that can. I know one of my project students then. He wanted to go to the PCN for his internship, and so there was somebody he had to locate that he knew that was like a mother and also a mentor to him that helped facilitate his internship at the place. So you should, and some of the benefits you're going to get, you won't need to struggle on a lot of things when you have mentors, because sometimes they have the right connection to help you, get some things done. So workplace internship, at the place of your work, you can get somebody to mentor you. Online networking, platforms like LinkedIn, you can then professional webinars, they also offer opportunities to connect with potential mentors and mentees. In the last 2 years, a lot of work has been done on mentorship. But maybe not so many in pharmacy, but that's an area I'm interested in, mentorship in pharmacy. And there's even possibility of, okay, let's make an app. Can we have an app where people can find mentors and then be able to relate with them, be able to, talk to them and get mentored through the app. So you can find a mentor, but one of the first things, like I said, is locate where the need is, because if not, you can have somebody in your life that is not really serving any purpose, and you don't feel fulfilled because this person is not really, helping you where you need help. So how do I build a productive mentorship relationship? I already told us that you need to invest in it. First, set clear expectations, define the scope of the mentorship relationship. So, like I said, what's the person mentoring me on? What area? Then also be open to learning. These things I've talked about them before, but I just want to reiterate them. Mentees should be proactive, ask questions and seek feedback. Get clarity. One example I love to give is I'm sure some of us, when we were way younger, you remember those times when you were sent on an errand by your parents, maybe your brother or sister, to go buy something, and you just took off, and then you got to the place where you're supposed to buy that thing, and suddenly realize that you could not remember what you were sent, and then you have to go back home to ask. In fact, the shame of going back home, we would make you drag your feet all the way back home, to meet your parents. I'm sorry, I didn't get what you asked me to buy. So it happens sometimes when you get to your mentor and then they say something and you look like you understood them, but please clarify, especially when when they're giving you instructions. And how do you clarify? repeat the things they have said. Sir, is it what you mean that I should do this and do this and do that? I mean, just clarify so that you can be sure that that is what they would have you do. Because I've seen instances where maybe I told someone to get some things done, and the person didn't really understand what it was and came back. I said, no, this is not what I told you to get done. So you should always clarify, clarify, and that's seek feedback. This is what I heard, sir. Is that all right? So you must be open to learning. Like I said, they might correct you. They will correct you. You must be open to receive that correction or those corrections. Commitment and respect. Honor is a very important part of mentorship. Let me tell you this. Somebody says that, wisdom and everything you want to flow would always flow where there is a gradient. What I mean by gradient, I mean you have a slant. There's somebody higher and there's somebody lower. So naturally, when you have a slant and you have, things can flow easily from top to bottom. But when that slant is not there and you are putting yourself on the same level with the person that is mentoring you, the flow will not be as quick or as good as if there is a slant. And that gradient is needed in mentorship, and that's where honor comes in. You must be committed to that relationship, committed to your mentor. Honor the person. And over the years, I've learned that honor is not what you think honor should be. Oh, honor is that I just do this thing for the person I'm honored, because that's the way you perceive honor. You must know the person very well to know the way that person perceives honor. So what is it what is it that I will do to my mentor that will make him feel appreciated, that will make him feel honored? So honor is a very important component, in the mentorship relationship. And respect. What's respect? Respect that I value your words. I value you as a person. So when the person says do this, you value the person such that yeah, I will do it. Person gives you an assignment. By tomorrow morning, I want to go think about this and come discuss with me tomorrow morning. Take it as though, yeah, it's like if I don't do it, I'm going to miss out on a great opportunity. So you must respect your mentor. Then, yeah, regularly assess the progress of the mentorship relationship to ensure it remains beneficial. Because sometimes after a while, maybe you're not that need has been met, and the person, is not really serving the purpose. So you must always, do an evaluation from time to time to know, okay, is this thing still serving the purpose for which it started? So how do I overcome challenges in mentorship? Mentorship can sometimes be challenging, but you must be prepared for potential obstacles, because when you know that, you'll be able to prepare for them. I've seen people around me that have had problems with their mentors, and sometimes some of the things I've discussed, they not being able to navigate some of these things. Some of them are so strong-willed. Is what they want to do, they do eventually. I mean, you can't work with anybody that way. If you've said that you want me to mentor you, then there's certain things you should be able to listen to. When I tell you, and let me tell you, you don't force people in mentorship to do things. And I love the way I'm being mentored by my mentor. Just giving directions opens the options for me, and then I think, okay, yeah, so I'm going to go with this. I think this is a better thing. And there's no how you work with a person for so long that you will not start to think like the person. You not start to act like the person, because for you to be the kind of person he has become or she has become, then you must start to think and be like that person. Think like that person. Talk like that person. When I say talk like that person, doesn't mean that you are using the same slurs and trying to speak like that person. I'm saying that, but the way the person speaks wisdom, you're able to also speak wisdom, because something has changed about your thinking. And that's where it starts from. So there are going to be challenges, quite all right. But is there any relationship that you don't have challenges? I mean, look at you have brothers, you have sisters. Don't you fight from time to time? I mean, even your parents. I mean, up there, you might have your parents. There are certain things your parents will do that you don't like. When you're way younger, you just keep quiet, But now that you're older, you can tell them. I mean, sometimes, mommy, you said this and I didn't really like it. It affected me this way. So sometimes you should be able to also open up, to your mentor when you're having personal challenges, when you're having challenges with that relationship, and it's something that can be discussed. Please let there be open dialogue. There must be mutual respect in mentorship. There must be mutual respect. So the mentor respects the mentee and the mentee respects the mentor. So I value your time. I value the things that interest you. I'm not trying to superimpose as a mentor on you. I'm not trying to superimpose my own ideas into your head. Oh, you must do this. No, 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 that's not it. I'm just trying to help you be the best version of yourself. So some of the common challenges that you might face: first, the difficulty in finding the right mentor. Like you can't find a match for that skill you're looking for, what you've identified you need help for. You can't find somebody that can help you feel it. So you must leverage your professional network. Sometimes you know somebody that knows somebody that can help you with that thing. Time constraints. These days we're very, very busy. There's a program that I enrolled for earlier this year. Is called iMentor. And the program, some of us are mentors, and they're trying to just help people get mentors. So they assigned people to us to mentor. We have a couple of people we're supposed to mentor. And, I've sent a couple of mails to the mentees, but I know everybody has been, like last week, for instance, we were supposed to have a meeting, but I was busy. I had an impromptu training that came up last week from morning till 4, for almost for the entire week, for Tuesday to Friday, and so we just could not meet. And they themselves too were busy from their responses in the mail. And so sometimes there can be time constraints. So one thing I did today was I called all of them individually, because we had not really had that first meeting where we could, get to know ourselves. So I called all of them individually to just let them introduce myself and then ask them, when will be the best time for us. And I realized that it was more productive. So there would always be time, you'd have time constraints. But because you value, if I'm your mentor and you ask that you want to see me at a particular time, and then I said, okay, I'll make out time to see you, and then you don't show up. That's disrespect. That is honor. And then, I'm very busy. So if I'm creating time, it means that I value you, I respect you, to be able to accommodate you in my time. But when you don't respect that, it's not going to be a good thing. So you should navigate. Don't say that you are busy. I'm too busy. I'm doing this, and so I can't see you. I'm not available to see you. If there's a time you are fixed, and if there's a need to change, you must inform prior. Not that you now call when you ought to have met your mentor 5 minutes after you ought to have met your mentor. You say, I'm sorry, I cannot come. Something came up. That's not a very good thing. There are emergencies, of course, that can be understood. But when it's just something that you did not plan well, then it's not a good signal coming from you. Then, of course, you could also have unclear expectations. So you should clearly define the goals from the beginning, because the goals will help you go prepared every time you see your mentor to know what kind of questions you want to ask. There's certain things you want to draw out from your mentor. So you want to be sure that you're still on track. I told us about communication. Ensure open, consistent, honest communication to sustain the mentorship relationship. So you must be willing to talk. And if you need help, if you don't talk, you can't get help. So if there are areas, don't be vague with your mentor. I can open up. This is what is happening. This is what they said. This is what, and sometimes you might even feel like maybe I'm reporting, but I'm not. I'm just being open to the person so that the person will not find out later that there's an information I held back. So it's good to be open when it comes to communication. I have a couple of stories. I know people. I told you about one of my students that, got, placement. I've seen a lot of people around me that, that maximize the mentorship relationship that I've been able to help. I know one of my students that, is doing a PhD in the US today. And, some of the things that, some of the things that I was able to help out with. And there are people that I know, a lot of my project students that have gotten some placements because of the relationship they have with me. So it's important that, you get a mentor. Like I said, ChatGPT cannot replace experience. It can only give you information. But you have somebody that has lived out that wisdom and can tell you for free the benefits, and the losses you can avoid if only you would listen. Then, but you must also understand that your mentors are not perfect. You are human, so also is your mentor. So some of them there might be mistakes and all of that there, but you must give allowances, create allowances, for such. Like I said, honor is the key. Don't, whenever you see that disrespect is coming or you are dishonoring you must adjust, quickly adjust, quickly adjust. Value what your mentor, says. And the way you value is that you respond, you give a feedback on what they said the last time to show that you're listening. So maybe the person said something to you the last meeting you had and did not really ask for a follow-up, but just said it. But you asked meeting because you said this the last time and I followed up, I thought about it. It makes the person, pleased that, wow, this person is observant, this person is sensitive, this person is listening and is valuing this relationship. So you should open up your heart to mentorship. Get somebody that you know around you that is accessible. Of course, there are different ways you can get people to mentor you, but usually the most effective is people that you can actually have physical contact with, or maybe these days virtual contact, but someone that you can have a relationship with. People say, oh, I want to get this person's book. I want this person to be my mentor. You have a mentor you don't know that does not know you, and you just you can be mentored by people. I mean, you're following them, you read all their materials, you watch all their you listen to all their podcasts, you watch all their vlogs, and you are learning from them. That's okay. But that personal thing, that personal touch is always important in mentorship, where it's not just some abstract person you're following, but you actually have a personal contact with the person, and it can help. A contact with a person can just help arrange certain things that are out of place in your life. So get involved in mentorship. So how do you start? Reach out to a professor, a senior colleague, a professional mentor. There are programs that are ongoing, pharmacy mentorship programs that are ongoing. By the time you join professional organizations, I've been a part of organizations since I was a student, right from secondary school. Joining these organizations, I look for maybe a club to join, a group to join on campus, so that I can learn, I can network, meet people, because that's the essence of life, really, networking. And yeah, I'm telling you, you're as good as your network. If you don't have good networks, you might not go too far. Ask those people that are doing great things. They know people that are doing great things. And it's so easy when you have friends that are doing great things for you to also do great things. Then you must also offer to mentor junior colleagues and pharmacy students. Look out for people that are under you that might not know as much as you do and point to them. There's that point where you are the one choosing. Sometimes you're the best is for a mentee to locate a mentor and then follow up and pursue. But there are instances where I've identified one or two persons, I just realized need help, and I just pursue them. And I've seen their lives change tremendously. Some of them that eventually open up and now get to respond. I see their lives change dramatically. So sometimes you also might need to offer that to other people. Like I said, you're not just only learning, you're not only just helping the person, but you're also learning and improving your own mentorship. So mentorship is a powerful tool for professional and personal growth in pharmacy. And as young pharmacists or pharmacists in training, find the right mentor can shape your career path. While serving as a mentor to others strengthens your leadership and influence in the field. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Christopher, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It has been an incredible, insightful session with you, sir. Thank you very much. We do appreciate.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Welcome, sir. We've learned that what mentorship truly is, how to find a mentor, how to find the right mentor, and how to maximize mentorship relationship. Took us through different challenges that comes with having a mentor and how to go with those challenges. And so now I'm very sure we have a lot of questions down for you to put us through, sir. And I'm very sure everyone on call now, they understand what mentorship is about. That it's not just about having someone ahead. It's about learning, it's about growing and eventually giving back to other people. So I will go through with the question now. So, sir, how should I do? Should I read out the questions, or I read them, then you answer them one after the other, sir?
Whatever works. If you just read them, let me hear them.
Okay, sir. So the first question I have here is that how do we balance multiple mentorship relationship across different aspects of life, career, spiritual, finance, and also in pharmacy education and practice.
Okay. So that you have more than one mentor
Yes,
for different things.
exactly, sir.
That can be very exhausting, actually. And my advice would be that you shouldn't have too many mentors. Maybe you learn to focus on certain aspects of your life at a time. So right now I'm a student, so I want to be a better student. So get somebody, that can help you with that. You can also get someone that can maybe do more than that. I mean, there are people that, when it comes to academics, I'm able to help them, but then they also discuss other things with me and how I can help. And with the level of knowledge I have in those things, I can help them. And sometimes I refer them to other people I know that can help them. So that's the good thing about mentorship. One mentor can even help you with other things. It might not be the best at it, but it can help you get somebody else that will help you in that thing without you committing to a mentorship relationship with that person, but you can get help, in that area. But then, of course, it's also possible to, have like 2, 3 mentors. But when having too many mentors, it's going to be, like I said, exhausting, and you might not be able to do well by all of them. And to some, you might appear so unserious, except you are very disciplined. Sometimes you're able to manage that. Like I said, I have mentors in some areas of my life, and I know that there are times I reach out to this person on this, and we understand the relationship already, and it works out. But like I said, don't bite more than you can chew. One of the things we learn over time is capacity. What you don't have capacity for, don't push yourself into it. And one of the things that being a student on campus helped me is to learn capacity. I needed to learn the things I could do. I had enough. When I talk about capacity, it means that the things that you have acquired enough skill to manage. So how many things can you manage at a time? Some of your classmates or some of your friends or colleagues that can do like 5 or 10 things at the same time. But if you try what they are doing, you might not be as effective as they are. They have grown capacity in that area. So you always seek to grow capacity. And how do you grow capacity? Yeah, you at your own pace, begin to add to what you have. So okay, before I could only undo 2 things very well. Now I want to take a third one. What do I need? So I get the knowledge, the requisite knowledge of that particular thing, the new thing I want to add on to what I'm already handling, and then I commit myself to it. And as I do it, it gets better over time. And before you know it, I'm able to undo 3 things well. And then I build capacity to handle 3 things. Now I'm pushing on to do 4. But you can't handle 1 and you're handling 5 things at the same time. You're going to break down. And you might not even want to go back, go that route again because, like you say, once beaten, twice shy. Once you have suffered a great defeat, you don't want to go that route again and you just pull back. So take it one step at a time. If it's only one mentor you can manage at this time, then focus on that mentor. Okay. So thank you, Christopher.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So we have another question here. The person said, I recently got interested in pharmacy in sports, but I've been stuck on where and how to get started with it. I'm interested in
pharmacy what?
Pharmacy in sports. Pharmacy in sports, but I've
in
been
sports. Okay.
Yes, sir. But I've been stuck on where or how to get started with it. I'm interested in helping athletes avoid using illegal drugs to boost their ability and help them with the right drug to boost their ability and also avoid doping bans. But I don't have any structure to work with, nor do I know how to go about it and having a structure to work with it. How can I do that using a mentor, sir?
Okay. So you want to be a pharmacist, in sports. Yeah, I think that's needed. One of the things we have learned now is that, as a pharmacist, you can do a lot of things. Now newer fields are even opening up to pharmacists. Yeah, for sports, you need to first of all understand what happens in that arena, and that's you should be interested in sport. I want to believe. So you watch maybe games and sports, and you understand. You follow some of the cases of doping that have happened over time. But another thing you want to also know is, okay, what does it even entail to be a pharmacist in the sports arena? Is there anybody that you know currently? If not, go online, search, find who is a pharmacist that works in sports. Sometimes you can actually get mentors online where you just send a mail to them, write a comprehensive mail where you would explain yourself and what your interests are. And then you introduce yourself to the person and say, I would like you to mentor me in this area. You could tell, you could even put a word there that, I've searched, I've looked around, I can't find anyone that actually fits the profile. And you appear to be the person that can help me, achieve this goal. So, I mean, and wait for a response from the person. So to go online, and then, because it might not be appropriate for you to meet someone that is not really, the person might not really be able to help you adequately in that area because he doesn't have the requisite knowledge for that. But of course, the person can advise you. You can have a mentor in your life. Sometimes you have a mentor. This person is my life coach, more or less. Is my mentor. It's beyond just learning one thing or learning two things from this person. And you can talk to the person about it. I have a little challenge with this. How can you help? The person would know someone that knows somebody that can help you, link up with that person. And sometimes when you get the name of somebody that say, sir, do you know this person? I got his name online. Person could tell you, I'll help you. I'll help make the connection, to this person. So you still need people in your life, even though you don't have somebody in that space. But sometimes get someone that can open up some doors for you to go through. But do your own part. Do a little research. Find out what it entails to be a pharmacist in that arena. Then, get information about somebody already operating in that arena. But let me ask you, for those that are still students, or those that, I believe we're all pharmacy students here, or pharmacy graduates. How many of you really, before you got into pharmacy, made inquiries about what pharmacy entailed before coming in? Or you got in and got the shock of your life? I'm sure perhaps a lot of people came in and got the shock of their lives here. But it's always good to, and I learned then, before I came to pharmacy, I went to meet a pharmacist in my area to just ask. So before you get into things, they don't have to be your mentor, but people that have a more experience, you can learn from them. So there are some relationships in your life that might not be permanent, like mentorship. They're just people that can advise us, people that can, give you advice or help you with what they know. And I think that would also help. So,
okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm very sure the fellow has actually gotten the best of answer to his question. So, another question here is that in a professional mentorship setting, it is not uncommon to encounter a mentor who may not be as cooperative or engaged as expected. What approach can I take to rekindle their interest and motivation while maintaining respectful and professional dynamic?
Okay. So you're talking about a mentor that is not really interested in the relationship?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, there has to be interest on both parts. But like I said, you might be the one to initiate it. I mean, there are people that will pursue you so much that you will just, okay, what do you want? I'm ready to help you. Because you've seen interest. Every mentor wants to see that drive, wants to see that passion in you. And at first, for some of them, that's the way they weed people away. Because there are so many people coming to them to ask to be mentored. And a lot of those people are not serious. You know how many requests you get every time? I want to mentor me, but that's the time when the person said that, that's the only time, the person ever, got to discuss anything with you. And that time you see the person, or you call the person, and the person is trying to get your attention. So you want to be sure that the person that wants to be mentored is actually serious about it. So sometimes you might have someone that would not show you like he's interested or she's interested until he can see that drive. And I've heard a lot of mentors say this. The other day, a professor was saying that, that a lot of people come around her to ask for mentorship, but they're not serious. So there's a way she just gives you that look like, I'm not really interested. Only those that are persistent, only those that are that are really tenacious and are willing to learn, they're the ones that stay around eventually. And it's the working relationship because they have the passion and they have the interest. So you yourself must pursue the person. But then there are instances when after you have done all of this, it's not working. Perhaps you have to approach somebody else. So it won't look like you're forcing yourself on the person. You also want to, it's supposed to be a meaningful relationship where somebody pours into you. But if the person is not available to do that, then there's no point. There's no point.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So the last question I have here is, how do I identify the career path in pharmacy that interests me the most? That interests me the most.
That interests you the most. Remember, you say you, so you are the one that will identify that eventually. Nobody can tell you what would interest you, but you know it. Like I said, let me just retrace what I said when I started. How did I land in academia? I was in pharmacy school, 200 level students, thinking, learning about options in pharmacy, where 5 practice areas then that we could practice. And okay, where would I? So from 200 level, I started thinking about this. I already ruled out some. I had some encounters in the hospitals around here that I said, no, hospital pharmacy is not for me. I mean, from 200 level, I already ruled out hospital pharmacy that I don't think I'm interested in that. So it was now between the industry, community pharmacy practice, and academia. So going along the line again, when I saw what the pharmaceutical reps go through and all that, I just knew that part of it too is not for me. So after a while, I struck that out of my list. It was between community and academia. Yeah. Community is still something I might still do eventually because it's something I'm interested in. But at the end of the day, what came out highest, was the academia. I just had that interest. For me, like I said, we're all different people. And so because we are different things will catch our fancy. The things that caught my fancy would not, some other people would not be interested. So for me, what made me really choose academia eventually was, and I saw the way we were being treated as students. I saw that, I wasn't really free to communicate in the faculty amongst my lecturers. I felt a little bit stifled, and I felt that no student should be allowed to go through this. Nobody should feel like, I kind of put my lecturer to ask a question, to get direction, to get help. And I felt lucky that maybe let me get into the system and see if it's something that one can champion to help people, be freer. That was one of the major drives. And I remember when I finished in my final year and I did my internship, in the Faculty of Pharmacy. It was crazy when all my friends realized that I'm sure I was the only person that only applied to the Faculty of Pharmacy. Every other person applied to other places and Faculty of Pharmacy. Even though they had all of this, I was not interested in any other place but the Faculty of Pharmacy. Because of that interaction I felt I was going to have with students, and also help certain things, my interest in research and all of that. So when it comes to your interest, it's your interest. You need to begin to ask the right questions, and you need to ask the right questions early. I remember a student that was about to graduate walking up to me and said, "Sir, it just dawned on me that I'm about to leave and I don't have a plan. I'm about to leave school and I don't have a plan." So perhaps you're here, whether you're in 100, 200, 300, 400 level, you still have a lot of time to make that decision, to think through your desires, to think through the opportunities you have ahead of you. And sometimes you might just need to find information, get more information about that. Some of you don't like something. It's not because it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do that thing, but maybe you don't have enough information about that thing. So get enough information to be able to make a decision. We talk about making well-informed decisions. So it comes from information, not just talking because my friends don't like it, or because somebody came to your class and talked bad about community pharmacists. So yeah, I don't want to be a community pharmacist. So you must get your own information. Then for those that are in 500 level, you can still make it. Thank God you're just entering your second semester. For those that are in OAU, you're entering your second semester. So you still have ample time to decide on what you want to do when you leave here. I know some of us have interests that are not pharmaceutical in nature. It's okay. If that is where your interest really lies. I remember 2 years ago, a student walked up to me. He just resumed final year, or maybe 2, 3 years ago, after COVID. And the person came to meet me and said that he wanted to drop out of school. That because COVID just opened his eyes to some of the things that he was interested in. And so he felt like he should just pursue them. If it was like he came alive during COVID when he started doing those things. And he felt like, I said, "Okay, if I'm on level, Abi, okay, so finish this one first. You started this. Let's finish this. When you're through with this, you can decide after now that, okay, this is what I want to focus on." But you just imagine you spent 4 years. This is your 5th year and you want to just let it go. Not counting all the other extra years you've had because of COVID, 8 months strike and all of that. And I remember when he finished, he came to thank me. He said, "Thank you, sir, that you encouraged me to finish this." Because he didn't think he thought he did not have enough drive to run through the entire year. But he eventually did, and of course, I'm sure he's doing, very well today, doing what he wants to do. So I know you might have other interests, but you should be able to prioritize. What's the most important thing now? At least for me to become a pharmacist, I need to finish this degree. So prioritize this and finish it. But while you are here, you are also thinking about the future. What are the things that catches my so you must be sensitive to know the things that catches. What was that thing that when you hear about it excites you? What's that thing that when you hear about it, it just makes you smile? Feel, yeah, that's what I want to do. What makes you proud to be a pharmacist? Then maybe you start. But like I said, before you even make a decision, get information about it. So you don't get there and say, I've been tricked to do what I did not want to do. So you should get information, and that would always help. I hope that answered the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your amazing insight. And we have a last question because our time is fast spent.
Okay.
So, someone saying, my question is to Dr. Ayodapo Jegede. Sir, please, how do I grow and be experienced like you? You are versatile in knowledge. I've heard you say one of the things that help you was reading books. How do I know the books to start with? How do I know what to start with to add more value to myself? That's a whole lot of courses to take and skills to learn. As a student, how do I begin coupled with the fact that I have academics work?
Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. Even the question is a lot. Okay. But first, maybe I'll just tell the person, maybe you can reach out to me after now so we can talk extensively beyond here. But I'm going to say something so others can also benefit from the question. It always happens to us like that, that we feel like I should be doing this, I should know this, and you want to know everything all at once. But that's not the way knowledge comes. Because you'll be overwhelmed if you try to get to know everything at once. And like I said, sometimes when you get overwhelmed, you lose interest in that thing eventually. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're overwhelmed and you will not pursue that thing again because you try to bite more than you could chew, at the start. So you should identify what you need to do now. Start from where you are. So what do I know? At this level, what do I need to know? And then when you talk about all of these things you want to do, one thing that's also helped me is having a to-do, a daily plan. There's this pyramid of productivity, and the pyramid of productivity talks about, your values, your core values, from your core values to your goals to weekly plans, and from weekly plans to daily plans. So at the very top is, your values. So what are your values? What are the things that, shape your existence? And sometimes you find because what appeals to you might not necessarily appeal to other people. So for some people, it's integrity. I mean, I can almost lose my life because of to show integrity, honesty. So you must be able to identify all of those core values in your life and let the core values define your goals in life. Then when you have your goals, from the goals, you can now come up with your weekly plans. So maybe at the end of the week, just on Friday, for instance, Friday evening, you're thinking about the next week. What are the things I want to do this coming week? And then you highlight the goals you want to achieve at the end of the week. After you've identified those goals, you can now put them into daily plans. So for instance, don't even try, if you've not been reading books before, don't try to read 5 books at a time. You can say, okay, this month, I'm going to pick up 1 book to read. And it always starts with need. What area of my life do I need help with? What things do I need to? Maybe I don't even know how to plan. So let me start with a book on planning. So I'm going to read a book on planning the month of March, and I'm going to read every day. I'll try to read 1 chapter, or I'll try to read 5 pages every day. What you could even do is look at the book. How many chapters do I have? How many days do I have in the month of March? How can I break it down such that every day, chunks, biteable chunks is always, that's the way to live life. Always take biteable chunks. So I'm going to read a bit this morning. I'm going to read a bit at night before I sleep, 1 or 2 pages, what I can take. And before you know it, as you build a routine around that, it helps. Before you know it, you're already developing a habit. And once it becomes a habit, it starts becoming automatic. And then you see yourself even doing more. You're reading more, you're getting more. So always start from where you don't feel overwhelmed. Have you been in that place? I have been there where the thought of all the things you need to do just weighs you down that you don't do anything. Just like, oh, I think I have all of this thing to do today. And then you're just about what you have to do, but you don't even you don't start to do anything because you're overwhelmed by the weight of what you have to do. So sometimes I don't even really think too much about I've already written out the weekly plans, and I know that, okay, this day, today, these are the things I want to. So usually when I get to the office, I just put my to-do. These are the major things I want to do today. And then I tick them as I get them done. There's this app I was using, TOD is an app for that helps you manage your schedule every day, and you can tick off things, you can bring things over to the next day. I was doing very well, but after a while, I just felt like, let me get back to my pen and paper. There was a way that really helped me more, made me more effective, And then also distraction that comes with phone, particularly when your notifications are on and you get distracted and you're unable to do all the things that you really want to do. So start from where you are. Remember, biteable chunks. Biteable chunks. Don't try to bite more than you can chew. See a lot of people trying to take on more than they can handle. Build capacity first. When you get capacity, then you're able to do more. But without capacity, you're going to experience burnout. You're going to break down, and you're going to have trouble trying to get back up. So yeah. So like I said, the person you see me after now, we can talk extensively about this. But for others, I hope you have learned from the question. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So please, you can reach out to him after the call. So our time is fast spent and we've exhausted all our questions. I want to say thank you once again for everyone at TCPP with the Compassionate Pharmacy Practice Project and TCPP Worldwide. We say very big thank you to you for your time and valuable insight. We really do appreciate. And I'm very sure everyone that has attended this workshop since yesterday and today, they can now get into the world of mentorship in the right way, having the right relationship with their mentor and also being an inspiring instrument to other mentees. Thank you very much, sir. And to everyone, thank you very much for your active participation. Please, if you have not registered, we'll be sending the materials for the call down to everyone's mail. So please do well to register so that you will get the mail across to you. Thank you very much, and everyone should have a very nice evening. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.
Yeah.